How's the market? Let me show you 5 graphs that sum up today's market. Coming up. I'm Regina Chen. I'm your local real estate agent right here in Irvine, California. Today, we're going to look at 5 graphs to tell you where we at in the housing market. The first graph we're looking at is the showing time number. That shows that how many people are scheduling showing, going on the tour. It's one of the indicator to let's get a feel of the buyer's demand. So for this chart, it started all the way from, if you look at the bottom left corner, 2017 till April number. The gray bars, that's the pre-pandemic period. The blue part is during the pandemic, and the green one is the latest number, and where we first see the trend in the blue zone started to have a turnaround first, going down shorter bar. Okay, so let's take a look at the pre-pandemic demand is pretty consistent. The 2017, 18, 19, you see even for the pattern, the seasonality is pretty consistent. Summer is always like the peak and get into spring is the peak season. We have a lot of showing and it kind of taper down from there. And during the pandemic time, those 2 years, the 2 years average way higher than the pre-pandemic demand. So as the recording day, today is June 25th. Based on the latest data, we saw that it seems that we have the early signs that in terms of showing traffic is coming out of like the pandemic high, which is not a surprise as the government, the Fed, tried to increase the rate to bring the housing demand and supply closer to each other and to have put the lid on the inflation. So that definitely had an impact on the buyer demand, which here illustrated by the show-in traffic. Now we're looking at the existing home sales. In million, that means that how many doors, that's the number of transactions. Again, the gray area, that's the pre-pandemic number. So we can see that 5.5 million, 5.3, 5.3. So the pre-pandemic average is probably around 5.3-ish, 5.4. During pandemic time, we have a two very strong, much higher number, 5.6 in 2020, 6.1 in 2021. And year to date, April, and again, this is a national total US existing home sale. Year to date, April for 4 months, we are looking at 5.6 million homes sold. Here is the forecast. So for this total year home sales forecast from 4 different organizations, Fannie Mae, National Association of Realtor, Mortgage Business Association, and Freddie Mac. They range between 6 million to 6.7. So taking the average, it will be somewhere around 6.3, 6.4. So that's still higher than the previous year, 2021. That's the projection in terms of this year's total home sales. As far as pricing is concerned, this is a forecast, again, coming from various organizations. They did the forecast in the second quarter. The average number is in this year, U.S. national home price average appreciation is at 9.3%. In the following year, the number is much lower considering the current information, Fed rate policy, and the inflation situation. So in the following year, 2023, the projection is 4.2, then followed by 3.1, 3.5, and 4%. In terms of the home inventory by Realtor.com, their original forecast just said that we're still gonna have a very, very tight home inventory situation. At the beginning, early on forecast is less than half a point, 0.3% inventory increase versus the last year, 2021. But now they just updated their forecast to 15%. So that's definitely a big jump. That's taking into all the new information, latest development with the inflation situation and the Fed rates hike. So that's a graph you want to know in terms of housing market. We're looking at several different matrix. We show you the indication of buyer demand that's based on the showing traffic. We also tell you about so far year to date, what's the actual home sales. I know a lot of people are talking about that Market's gonna crash, but at least for this year, year to date, we're still doing pretty strong, and the projection seems to be on track with the total homes sold last year. And in terms of a home price projection, the national average is around 9%. And in terms of inventory, Realtor.com just revised their forecast. They believe this year's home inventory will be 15% more versus last year, which is year 2021.